For the best prices and service on Pokemon TCG singles and products, check out ccgcastle.com and use promo code Evolutionaries-5 for 5% off your next order.
What's up, guys? And here, and I want to take a second to give you guys a very special welcome to the very last Deck Tech Thursday that will be on this channel. As Professor K said last week, for reasons we can't really go into right now, this will be the last Deck Tech and Battle Frontier that we're going to be doing on this channel. And I know a lot of you guys are really upset about that, and I do sincerely apologize, but it's just something that has to be done. But in a way, I was really happy to see how many of you guys would miss the series and how many of you just love the series so much. It's really awesome to see because we put a lot of work into these decks for you guys, and we're really happy that so many of you took our decks seriously and even ended up using them for yourselves and had some success with them. So that was really awesome. So we're going to end it with Deck Tech number 100 here, guys. This is the 100th Deck Tech Thursday, and next week for Battle Frontier Friday will be the 50th Battle Frontier Friday. And that's where we're going to end it. And for my very last deck, guys, I'm going to be showing you guys Necrozma Malamar to kick it off with everything. It's a very powerful Psychic deck in the meta right now. And has some good matchups against Dark too, so I'm not too worried about the Hoopa I'm going to be facing. So we're going to start off here with 3 copies of Necrozma GX from Burning Shadows. Now he's 100 HP basic Psychic. He's got an ability Lights End that's not really relevant. It's just pretty much that colorless Pokemon can't damage him. So nothing really special there. But his 2 attacks are very special. Both are 3 colorless. Prismatic Burst does 10 damage, and you discard all of your Psychic Energy attached to that Pokemon, and it does 60 more for each Psychic Energy you discard that way. So with just the 3 of those being Psychics, you're doing 190 base right there. So definitely one-shot at things. Easily, especially with Choice Band, or if you have more Psychic Energy than 3. And Black Ray GX, a very powerful GX attack. The attack does 100 damage to each of your opponent's Pokemon GX and EX. So it just spreads 100 everywhere and really can set you up for a good game. Next up, of course, for Psychic Meteorine, 2-tap a Lele, just to search out supporters with Wonder Tag. Gotta have it. 1 copy of Dawnwing's Necrozma. Now, I only have 1 in here. It's because this deck is more focused on the Necrozma GX than the Dawnwings. But it's still a really good attack with Dark Flash, and if you're not able to use Black Ray, Moon's Eclipse is really good to buy you a turn. But Invasion is still just such a good ability in general that you can't not have it in there. And next up, since this is a Malamar deck, we're going to be running 4 copies of Nke, along with 4 copies of the very powerful Malamar. Now, the Malamar has Psychic Recharge, which says that once during your turn, you attach a Psychic Energy card from your discard pile to one of your bench Pokemon. So the idea is just to use Prismatic Burst, Malamar all that energy back, and then just use Prismatic Burst again. So that's the central strategy, anyways. But we do have a little ways to get a little bit creative when the Necrozma can't do the job. Have 1 copy of Lunala Prism Star and 1 copy of Mew from Steam Siege. Now, the Lunala is mainly here for Full Moon Star, where we can get Malamar off quick enough. But Psystorm is actually a really powerful attack, too. For 4 Psychic Energy, does 20 damage times the amount of energy attached to all Pokemon. So all energy on the field goes to this attack, and even though it's hefty with 4 energy, Malamar builds it up quick. Full Moon Star to yourself to the same Lunala to power it up quicker. And you could be taking some knockouts all over the place. I don't care if you're resisting the second or not. You're going to be one-shotting with this at some point. And Mew, it's just really to copy the Necrozma to get through to things like Koopa, for example. And just to have a 1-prize attacker overall. So you just knock out something with 2 prizes, and if they don't have a Guzma or anything, they're going to have to knock out the Mew, and you're already winning the prize war there. So that's really awesome. And last but not least for the Pokemon line is going to be 2 copies of Wobbuffet. Now, it's been forever since we've seen this guy, but he's actually a really good Pokemon to start with because he blocks all of your opponent's abilities except for Psychic. He blocks all abilities in general except for Psychic Pokemon, which all of our Pokemon are Psychic, so we don't have to worry about that. But this is like really good to start with. Not to mention, Psychic Assault's a pretty good attack too. It does 10 damage and does 10 more damage for each damage counter your opponent's active Pokemon. So you go in there with a Black Ray GX and then you start attacking for Wobbuffet, you're going to just start knocking out everything while shutting down their abilities at the same time. So it's really powerful. And with that, that's going to end our Pokemon lineup here. And now we're going to get into the supporters. Going to be starting off here with 4 copies of Sycamore. Now, I'm running 4 in this deck because we want our energy in a discard for Malamar. So, definitely want all the ways to discard the Psychic Energy as we can. So, definitely got to have the Sycamore in there. I so wish we had Battle Compressor back in Standard. That would make Malamar so much better. Alright. Next up here, we have 3 copies of Cynthia. Self-explanatory, going to be the best draw supporter in the game once rotation happens. And speaking of rotation, I am going to miss you, but for now, we're still going to be running 3 copies of N. Because a turn 1 N can completely just ruin a game for your opponent at times. Not to mention just great overall. The 1 obligatory copy of Bridget, just because it's Bridget. Busted supporter, helps you set up all of your bench Pokemon. Just awesome. And the fact that they're all GXs, I swear, that was probably the most busted thing they ever made about Bridget, is that the thing is, it's either 1 basic EX or 3 basic Pokemon, except for the Pokemon EX. So the fact that GX don't count as EX was probably the most busted thing ever about Bridget. And in a way, this card kind of does need to be removed from Standard, because it's just too good in my opinion. And last but certainly not least, we have 3 copies of Guzma. Just to bring out the things we want to knock out, and all that good stuff. And with that, that's actually going to be it for our supporter lineup. Nothing too fancy there. And now, for our items. Of course, we're going to be having 4 copies of Ultra Ball, along with 4 copies of Mysterious Treasure. Now, these are all ways to discard energy from our hand, really, just to search for all the Pokemon that we need. And as you guys saw, literally every single Pokemon in our deck is Psychic, so Mysterious Treasure is literally a second copy of Ultra Ball for us. So we essentially have 8 Ultra Balls in this deck. Because Mysterious Treasure, you only have to pitch 1 card, but you can only search for a Psychic or a Dragon. So, literally 8 Ultra Balls in this deck, and it is fantastic. Just fantastic. Next up here, we have 2 copies of Choice Band, just to boost our damage a bit. And we have 3 copies of Floatstone. Now, I picked a 2-3 line because, yeah, Choice Band's great to boost damage, but you could already one-shot without the Choice Band by just adding more energy to the Necrozma. So, Floatstone's definitely the much more important tool in this deck, not only for, obviously, your Malamars and your Dawnwings, but let's say, for example, you get a Wobbuffet in the eye. You start off with a Wobbuffet. That's good enough. That's good, but you want to get them out of there, and you can't exactly put down your Dawnwings because you're going against a Zoroark matchup or the Hoopa matchup, for example. So that's why so many copies of Floatstone. Just so you have something to attach to the Wobbuffet itself to retreat when you need to. Luckily, most of these Pokemon don't really have too big retreat costs. Lele has 1, Wobbuffet has 2, which is kind of annoying. Mew has 0, so that's good. And it doesn't exactly hurt to hard retreat either because it puts energy at a discard. But obviously, regardless of that, you want to avoid hard retreating if you can help it. And next up here, we run 3 copies of Field Blower because not only do we not like Garbodor, of course, but we don't like stadiums. We don't like our opponent having stuff. We don't want our opponent to have stuff, guys. No. There's no stuff allowed for our opponents, so that's why 3. And last but not least, for our items, I just run 1 Rescue Stretcher. There's no need to run Super Rod, especially since you have the Malamars, and I've only ever needed 1 Rescue Stretcher, so that's just me. Alright, and last but not least, for our energy, we do not run any Psychic here. We don't run any Stadiums here. So it's just going to be 11 copies of Psychic Energy. And that's going to be it for the energy, and that's it for the deck profile. So thank you guys so much here for joining me for the final Deck Tech Thursday. It really is a shame to see this series go, especially since we've been doing it for so long, but you know, just life happens sometimes, and you gotta do what you gotta do. So, once again, I'm really honored for everyone who stuck with me throughout all this, and for the final one, and just in general, thank you all so much for just loving and supporting this series so much. We honestly didn't think that you guys would like this series as much as you did, but it really does. It does warm our hearts to see all the support, and how much you guys are gonna miss this series. Yeah. Man, 150. That's pretty crazy. Pretty crazy indeed. Well, I am definitely gonna miss this series. But we're still here, guys. We're still doing Pokemon stuff. And who knows? Who knows what awaits down the line? So, that's it for today, guys. This has been N for the Pokemon Evolutionaries. And thank you all so much for joining me for the final Deck Tech Thursday. And we'll see you guys later.